Okay, now in the previous video we have discussed many operations with the list, and let me check it is recording or not. Yes, it is recording. Okay, so in the previous Python practical tutorial we have discussed the list in detail. What are the operations we can do with the list? So there are many operations we can do with the list, and in the Python the lists are very helpful. So we can store it multiple types of values, and we can use them in other types of variable by using the pop method. Okay, so what we are going to do in this tutorial? In this tutorial we are also going to work with the list, but we will go in some and understand some advanced concepts with the list. We will use the looping method with the list. So go into the code. Okay, here I am mentioning it. Okay, okay, I am going to make a list here, new list, and okay, if I you are seeing that if I have just take here, I was taking the list as a variable name here. So you cannot take the list as a variable name here. Anything you are going to take here, and it will change its color to a brown color, or any letter that changes its color after writing, you cannot take it as a variable, because it is the indication that this letter or this keyword, this word is a keyword, can be a keyword in Python programming language. So you cannot take it as a variable name here. This will not work as a variable. So removing it, let's take lst, and then I write here so what I am going to store in that list, I am going to store a list of some my friends. I am the friend of myself, so I am deciding a user. Okay, I have stored these string values or elements in my lst variable. Moving to the next cell, and so what I am going to use here, I am going to show how the concept of for looping in Python, the concept of looping in programming. Loop, whatever you are going to put in that loop, this will print until that loop ends. So there are many methods of looping in programming. So first method I want to discuss with you is for loop method. Just this declaring it for. So how can we use it? For I in lst. Here I take I. You can take any variable. You can take your name or any value, any variable here, any letter here. And just don't take the parenthesis here. And then I use a colon and go to the next line. There should be the indentation. So in Python you have to remember that whenever you are going to use any loop or any block, uh, in the further videos you are going to learn if else condition. So these are called the block, if else block. So, and in the loop, these are this kind of loop, for loop, or many other loops we are going to discuss here. Whenever there is a condition of loops, or there is some important condition, like there is a functions we are going to discuss in further videos. In functions or conditions of blocks, there must, whenever we use these and go to the next line, there should be the indentation. Otherwise there would be error if you don't care for the indentation. So when I go to the next line, I just want to, so it has started the loop, and in that loop, this loop will start until the last index value of this. So we have how many elements in that list? Can you calculate? We can calculate this by using the len lst. So 6, we have in our list we have 6 elements. So what I am going to do in that for loop is going to be happen 6 times. I use I here. This I will first come to this, and then I just write the print. If I write print list, let's see what happened there. Okay, so what is happening here, I take this I variable, this first comes to the 0th index, and print the whole list here, and then you can see these are the 6 list it has made here. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, 6 elements. So, and then after the 0th index, it repeats its loop and come to the first index, and after first index, at the first index it comes, when I comes to the first index, it is going to print the whole list, and same for same till the last index, that is our 6th index, 5th index. Okay, what if we want to, in you are going to see that it is printing this 6 times, so there are the 6 iterations. What if for every iteration I want to print the single element from the list? So how can we do this? This time I am going to make another for loop, and I am going to use here so for in list, and then print just wait a second. Okay, I use dot title keyword. Okay, let's see the magic here. Oh, it has given the error. Why it has given the error? It has no attribute title. Why? Why it is showing this to me? Wait a second. Let's check me this. Okay, so where were we last time? We were okay. I made a list, and in that list, I have done the 6 iterations here, and then print the whole list. So what I was going to do last time, I was going to print a single element in each iteration. So how can I do this? I can do this for, I just take this up in lst, then take Okay, just make it more complex. I am going to write here some string. What is the spelling of friend? My friend is and then I am going to print here just okay Yusuf dot title. Let's see the magic here. It is for every iteration, for every loop, Yusuf, the variable Yusuf comes goes to the list I have made here, goes to the list I have made here, and picks one element for every iteration. So first it pick the element the Yusuf, and then takes Hamad, and then Usama, then Hasnain, Zubair, and Muhammad. So for every iteration it takes one element. If I remove this, you can see it clearly. For every iteration, for every 6 iteration, it takes only one element throughout the 6 iterations. Okay, moving on further, what we have to do with the list. Okay, by using the for loop, we can also create the counting. So how can we create the counting? For I in range, I want to create the counting from 0 to 20. So I just write 21 minus 1, 20, and then print I. So it has made the counting 0 till 20. Okay, so from this method you can create the counting in by using the for loop. What if you want to make a list of numbers using the for loop? For I just take any variable name, just take here the number is equal to list spelling mistake range. I use here the list function, list keyword for making the list, and I use here the range keyword for declaring the range 0 to 7. So suppose I want to go to 6, and if I write here the numbers, it is going to make a list of numbers. You can only make, by this method you can only make the list of numbers, but if you want to make the list of the strings, you can make this by using the for loop method. So the thing is that by using the for loop method you can perform the operations whatever you are going to perform in your particular case. You have so in the list you have multiple elements. So by using the for element, if you use the pop method, you just pop the value out and then perform the operation on that pop value. So the pop function is a little bit hard for performing the operations on the whole list. For performing the operation to the whole list and in the iterative method, we use the for loop method. If we want to make a square of these lists, make the square of the elements of these lists, we just make the we just multiply the elements, we just multiply numbers multiply by 2, and then by making the for loop we print that multiplied numbers. Let's see how can we do this. We have a list of numbers 1, and that contains numbers like 1, 3, 6, 8. Okay, so for I in numbers, what I am going to do is I want to multiply them by any numbers in each iteration, and I am also going to print it. So what should I do here? And in this program I also want to print only one element throughout the each iterations. So how many elements here I have here 6 elements, 5 elements. So throughout the 5 elements I am going to get the multiplied value or by some particular number, and that would be one value, single value, not the whole list I am getting. So I just write here 1 I that would go to this list for each iteration, and I am going to multiply it by 2 and then print it. Okay, let's see what happened here. And now here I made a mistake here. So what I am going to do in that for loop is I miss something. I have to declare here another variable that would take the elements from our first declared list and then multiply it to the value of 2, and then I am going to print I. Let's see what happened here. It is not giving the correct result. Let's wait some time. Wait, I haven't mentioned here the 1. So if I write I here 1 3 6 7 8, it has print these value in the order, but I am not getting the result for this. So how can I get the result for this? Is not multiplying. It is still not multiplying. Wait, let me check it. So here you can see that I have taken a variable, and then for each iteration this I will go to that list, and from that list is take one element here, and for each iteration that one element will be multiplied by this number, and it is going to store in the variable an MBR, and that variable is going to print throughout the 5 iteration, and you can see the result here. So the first iteration 2 multiplied by this first element, and then this element 6 comes here, and then this element 12 and 7 14, then 2 it was 16 here. It is going to print and multiplying by all the elements throughout our list. So that's okay. What if we want to take the number from the user? What if we put it on the user requirement? What the user want to take the number here to multiply it? This number would be of user's choice. So how that can be happen? I just make I am just copy pasting the whole program here, whole code here, and okay, here is the keyword. No, I just take the variable, and then I just use the keyword here, input. This would take the input from the user, that the number which the user want to multiply through the elements of this list. So I just write here the statement, and the number and this backslash n means it will go to the next line. So here you can see entry has come. Enter the number you want to multiply to this to the list elements. It is stuck. Sometimes it usually happens in Jupyter Notebook that it is stuck. When there is the star mark, you can see that it is stuck. So you can wait, or you can go to their kernel and restart it. It just takes some time. Why it is not starting? I don't like waiting. Okay, it has refreshed the kernel here. So if I going to execute this code, so it gives us the entry, and here I am going to use this variable, and this variable will going to multiply by this. Okay, I am going to execute. This again going to take some time. I don't know why it is suddenly this happens. It is going to take some time. Yes, wait, why it is going to take so much time? I haven't much time. I'm going to refresh it again. waiting until that. Okay, it is completed. Now the kernel is refreshed. So if we go down below to our code, here is our code. There was our code. So what I have made here, I made a list here. And then I make iterations throughout the list, and throughout these iterations what is going to happen, user input is going to happen, and that user input value is going to multiply through these elements which are stored in the list numbers 1, and then after multiplication it is going to display. Let's see what is going to happen. What if I write here 3? So this 3 is going to multiply. Okay, so you can see here I just write 3. This is the entered 3, and then for each iteration I am doing this. So for the first iteration the I goes here. Okay, so our input 3 multiply by this. Okay, so and then next iteration comes and it asks the next value to us, and I write 2 here and then enter. So it comes, why it is giving 222, that's not good, that's not okay. If I write here 3 again, okay, just wait. I want to multiply this user input to the elements of this list. So, and I want to display them all in a I want to display them all together. So I just okay, I just cut it here and I'm going to paste it here. This will be okay. For the input condition it is taking some time. I don't know why it is taking it. Don't do this like that, but I don't know why it is doing like that right now. For all of you guys, this is my channel. Go and check the videos I am in this channel. You will find at this channel you will find all the programming related videos related to, and especially I am focusing on the Python. So there will be videos more related to the Python programming. There is also I have added the course of web development. Front end web development course is also available here, and pandas for data science course playlist is also available here. So you guys need to check these videos, that would be helpful for you. Okay, so our code is executed here. So what number I want to multiply? I want to multiply here by 3. I don't know why it is doing this. Just wait, it is not multiplying it. Okay guys, so it was not multiplying, but it was concatenating the number which we have entered here. So I got my mistake here. I didn't mention here the type. So this is the integer type. So you can mention this type here, or also you can mention this type here by typing int, and now it is multiplying. So if I remove the type from here, and I have mentioned this type here, so let me check how it happens. So it is giving the error. Okay, and then 3. So now you can see that it is multiplying. So you can either use the data type here, but you have to mention the data type. Either you can describe it here, or you describe it with here in the variable. Okay, so what I next thing what I am going to show you here is you have done this code in so many lines of code, so in many lines, writing the many lines. So the efficient programming is known when, as usually happens when you write the code in multiple lines, or write a code of multiple lines. You have the capability, you can be known as an efficient programmer when you have the capability of writing the code of multiple lines in a single line. So it will be better if we start practicing this from right now. So what I am going to do here is, I am not assigning it to any variable. I am just going to print welcome to Excel, and So you can see that I have removed one line here. It becomes a kind of hard for those who are going to review your code, but it is a good practice to write the code of multiple lines in a single line. So let's execute it and see what happens. So it is going to work in the same way, and that's it for today. I'm going to stop here. Have a nice day and keep watching, keep practicing, and do subscribe my channel if you like. Goodbye.